Reporting tips on taxes is a crucial aspect of tax compliance for individuals who receive tips as part of their income. The process involves several steps and requires understanding of key concepts and regulations. First, it is essential to understand what constitutes tips and how they are taxed. Tips are gratuities received from customers for services provided, and they are subject to income tax and payroll taxes. The Internal Revenue Service requires individuals to report all tips received during the tax year. To report tips on taxes, start by keeping a record of all tips received during the tax year. This can be done using a tip diary or log, where you record the date, amount, and type of tip received. It is also a good idea to keep receipts and other documentation to support your tip income. Next, calculate the total amount of tips received during the tax year. This includes cash tips, credit card tips, and non-cash tips such as goods or services received. You will report this total amount on your tax return. When filing your tax return, you will need to complete Form 4137, which is the form used to report tips. You will also need to complete Schedule 1, which is used to report additional income, including tips. On Form 4137, you will report the total amount of tips received during the tax year, as well as the amount of tips allocated to you by your employer. You will also calculate the amount of Social Security and Medicare taxes owed on your tip income. It is also important to note that your employer may allocate a portion of your sales or receipts as tips, and this amount will be reported on your W-2 form. You will need to compare this amount to your actual tip income and report any discrepancies on Form 4137. Best practices for reporting tips on taxes include keeping accurate and detailed records, reporting all tips received, and completing the required tax forms correctly. It is also a good idea to consult with a tax professional if you have any questions or concerns about reporting tips on your tax return. In conclusion, reporting tips on taxes requires attention to detail and understanding of the tax regulations and forms involved. By keeping accurate records, calculating your tip income correctly, and completing the required tax forms, you can ensure that you are in compliance with tax laws and avoid any potential penalties or fines.